I stared at the phone, the dial tone a mocking drone in my ear. Useless, she'd said. Absolutely useless. The words, sharp and familiar, echoed in the small apartment. My mom, always needing, always demanding, had crossed a line. This wasn't about the money. It was about the constant belittling, the dismissal of my efforts. A cold, quiet anger settled within me. Revenge wasn't about shouting or physical confrontation. It was about something far more subtle, a slow burn. First, I started with silence. I stopped calling. I stopped responding to her texts. I vanished from her digital world, a ghost in the machine. This, for her, was a torment. She thrived on attention, on the constant flow of information about my life. The void I created was a gaping maw in her carefully constructed reality. Next, I focused on myself. I'd been working extra shifts at the diner. Saving for a small online business. A dream I'd never dared to voice. I poured all my energy into it. I learned coding, marketing, everything. I built a website, sourced products, and launched. I posted pictures of my products on social media, carefully avoiding any mention of my family. The response was slow at first, then a trickle, and finally, a steady stream. Orders started coming in. I was making money, real money, on my own terms. My mom, of course, found out. Social media has a way of spreading information, especially when it involves a family member. She called, her voice a strained mix of curiosity and thinly veiled anger. "What is this?" she demanded, her voice tight. "This, business?" "It's my business, Mom," I said, my voice flat. "Something I built myself." "But, why didn't you tell me?" she sputtered. "I could have helped." "I didn't need your help," I replied, the words a cool, sharp blade. "I'm not useless anymore, am I?" She hung up, the click a satisfying punctuation mark. The real revenge, however, wasn't in the money or the business. It was in the transformation. I started volunteering at a local shelter, helping others who had been dismissed and forgotten. I found a sense of purpose beyond the petty squabbles of family. I discovered a strength I never knew I possessed. One day, I received a package. It was a small, hand-knitted scarf, with a note, "For when it gets cold. I'm proud of you." It was from a woman at the shelter, a woman I'd helped find a job. That's when I realized the true nature of my revenge. It wasn't about hurting my mom. It was about healing myself. It was about proving that I was capable, resourceful, and worthy. It was about building a life that wasn't defined by her expectations or her judgment. My mom's words had been a catalyst, a spark that ignited a fire within me. She had called me useless, and in doing so, she had unwittingly given me the motivation to prove her wrong. Not for her sake, but for my own. My silence and my success were my loudest, most effective form of retaliation.